Hello and welcome to round 4 of the 2009 GP4 Offline Championship. We are here at the Bahrain for the Bahrain Grand Prix at the Bahrain International Circuit, or the Shakira International Circuit as it's called. Now, after three, I suppose, quite dramatic rounds of the season so far, what will we see in round 4? So we are here at Bahrain, a track which I personally quite enjoy watching. Yes, as I said, it's been a really good start to the season so far. So let's hope this race will be another one. So it'll be really exciting. But anyway, the race rating of China was given an overall 7.6 out of 10. The driver of the day vote was unfortunately bugged. It was a bit of a glitch in the voting, so there is no driver of the day result. So we're hoping for this one, when the drivers do vote for their driver of the day, there won't be any of those problems. But anyway, so Brawn have won, I think, 2 out of the 3 races. Well, actually, no, they haven't. They've won 3 out of the 3 races so far this year. Red Bull have been close, and Volker would have won in Australia, as we know, if he hadn't made that mistake of going into Sam Thompson on the last lap. So Brawn have dominated so far. So Gal won the first race. Southgate dominated the second race in Malaysia, and Gal absolutely dominated the Chinese Grand Prix. Here we are on the grid. So we've got Michael Scow on pole, Alex Southgate second, Willow third, an impressive qualifying from Jay McKenzie in fourth place for BMW Sauber, Page Knight fifth, Florian Volker sixth. In seventh place is Felix Sontag, an impressive qualifying from him and also from McLaren as well. Eighth place Waze Cooper, who's not had a good start to the season at all. Joseph Willis ninth, followed by George Roke in 10th place. In 11th place is Jack Boyne, followed by Azul Zafri in the Force India. 13th will be the Ferrari of Will Neller, followed by Roland Moichin. A disappointing qualifying for Will Neller, who's usually been better than his teammate Cooper, but not in this round. 14th, as I said, was Moichin, and 15th and 16th is the 2 Renaults of Finley Strachan and Viggo Holst. 17th is Victor Abobo. 18th is Alan Wolf. Williams qualifying struggles continue. Alan Wolf 18th, sorry. Evan Byrne 19th, Santos on 20th, and of course the 2 Lotuses of Michael Mocha and Jordan Maturin at the back. So again, a disappointing qualifying for Sam Thompson as well, only 20th. And also one thing that happened in qualifying was that George Roke actually had an engine failure at the start, but fortunately managed to get into the spare car and set a lap time, so he was quite lucky in that respect. But as you can see, in Bahrain, of course, no rain, so this will be a dry race like Australia, only the second dry race of the season out of 4. But anyway, here come the lights. We've got 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, long hold, and the lights are out, and away we go. Who's going to get the best start? Gal seems to have got a good start, and he has taken the lead, and Southgate's second, but will he get overtaken by the Red Bull of Volker in third? There's Sontag trying to overtake through in the middle of the pack. There's been an almighty crash. Roland Moichin's involved. I believe that's Azul Zafri's involved. There's a Renault involved as well. And Roland Moichin's bad luck just never, ever, ever seems to go away from him. And I believe that is Azul Zafri. Here we are on board with Moichin. So it's the Renault there of Viggo Holst goes into the back of Moichin, who in turn goes into the back of the Force India. And I believe that was a BMW involved as well. So all the cars at the back trying to go through all the debris. So, as I said, Wolf there gets overtaken around the outside. So Viggo Holst is involved, I said Moichin's involved, Zafri's involved, and I believe the BMW, I think that's George Roke. And yes, George Roke has been involved. Racing versus front wing and his rear wing, same with Azul Zafri, and same with Roland Moichin. And Viggo Holst as well has only lost his front wing, but what a disastrous start to the race of those guys, especially for George Roke, who's not had a particularly great season so far. Got a 5th place at the Chinese Grand Prix for his first points of the season. Kenzie's had a lot better luck than he has. The driver's coming down onto the support pit straight. There is Michael Mocho, who's finally got past all the slower cars. There's Roke and Azul Zafri. There's Victor Abobo, who has managed to somehow avoid having any damage or whatnot as he gets past Roke. There goes 2 Williams of Wolf and Byrne. As Abobo tries to get past the Force India, Zafri there, but Zafri defends really hard. I don't really see the point of that because he's going to have to go into the pits anyway, as Thompson, his teammates, also stuck behind George Roque, so not a good race from him either. Not a good start, sorry, for him either, as they're now coming onto the straight, so now they're going to be able to overtake as Bobo goes past. Now the two Williams go past, Byrne and Wolf. Wolf's trying to get on the inside of Victor Bobo with Byrne behind him, and the Lotus of Maturin behind him as well, but he doesn't make the move stick as they come onto the back straight. As here's a battle, there's a battle between the two McLarens, Willows and Sontag side by side, and Willows managed to get past. There's Jack Boyman in 10th, so Sontag down to 9th, Willows 7th, as there's a yellow flag, and oh, that's a massive crash. Azul Zafri, oh, what has happened to him? So Zafri was trying to get back to the pit, so what happened? So he was onto the straight, and Sam Thompson, his teammate, tries to go past him, Azul Zafri tries to go towards the pits, and just hits Thompson, gets lifted up into the air. Almighty crash. And wow, that was quite some crash there for Azul Zafri. And that is him out of the race. I don't know if he is injured or not, but that was, as I said, a pretty almighty crash. To go on board with him, he tries to turn the pits, he just doesn't seem to know that Thompson's there going past. Thompson somehow managing to avoid damage from that, but you can see how far Zafri's car lifts up into the air, down onto the back straight, and I don't know how Thompson managed to avoid any damage, managed to get past the wheel without sustaining anything. So, wow, what a spectacular crash. Not a good start for Force India. But Thompson is still in the race, though, at least. But Azul Zafri, he'll probably have to go to hospital for that, I reckon, because that was quite a lift and probably quite a heavy impact onto the floor, as well as him flying all around. Probably gets a lot of G-force from that one. So there are the cars at the back, Roque, Holst, and Moitjen, all going into the pits. And it looks like a floating chair there that's right in the middle of the circuit. But obviously, I know it's not that. But you can see another view from it. It's just a spectacular crash there. As there's the battle between Bobo, Wolf, Byrne, and Maturin. So the marshals will get that clear, hopefully before the cars come down the back straight. Hopefully there won't be any glitches, because if so, then that will be a bit of a problem. But Gowell leads at the moment. Southgate's in second. Volker's in third. The Brawn's already starting to get away from the rest of the pack. So we're on lap 3. Here's Waze Cooper trying to move on page 9 for 5th place. Cooper's has a good qualifying. Has actually had a good start to the race for once. He's had a pretty nightmare start to the season to the driver. There's contact! Oh, there's contact, and Knight manages to save it somehow. And Cooper does make the place stick, as there's a bit of action here between Strachan and Jack Boyman for 11th place. As there is, I believe that is James Willows getting past Page Knight down the back straight. As here is Strachan going past Boyman, and he has done, but Boyman's going to try and do the switch over if he's got enough power. He's going to have the slipstream, so is he going to make the move to turn 1? Boyman tries to make the move back, Strachan pushes him out. Is he going to make the move? There's a little bit of contact, side by side. Will Boyman get the place back? And yes, he does. Great racing there between the two, well, not English drivers, as Strachan's Scottish, but you know what I mean. As Strachan's now going to go back past Boyman, coming into turn, I believe that is 4, and it's still side by side. Is Strachan going to get back past side by side, coming into the fast right and left-hander, past left, right, left, and Strachan does get the place back, and now it gives a chance for Michael Mocho in the Lotus to get in on this act, as that is Viggo Holst. Viggo Holst is out of this race. Viggo Holst, who got involved on the first lap and has suffered a suspension failure, probably because from the damage that he had on on the first lap. But he was the one who essentially caused all of that, so I don't know if he'll get a penalty or anything for that. So there's the wheel. George Roque just manages to avoid hitting the wheel, as that is Viggo Holst out of the race on lap 4. So Holst had a good start to the season. As Jack Boyman's gone wide and he's managed to save it, but Evan Byrne is going to go past him, and that is, I believe, is that Adam Wolf behind him? And you can see that the Williams there of I don't know which one it is actually. I'll get used to the drivers' names. It was Evan Byrne, that was it. Evan Byrne's got past, and now that gives a chance for Victor Bobo and the Toro Rosso to get past as well, as this Mocho running an impressive 12th place from all those collisions that have happened on lap 1. As here is a Bobo now trying to go past Jack Boyman for 14th place. Will he make the move stick into the final corner? And yes, he does. Well done to him there. As here is Evan Byrne, who is right behind Michael Mocho, and he's going to make the move stick surely coming into the final corner. And will he make the move stick side by side? Macho doesn't put much of a fight, and Byrne completes the move. Well done to him. So he's now up into 12th. Byrne, who managed to score his first point of the season in China, as James Willows comes into the pits on lap 14. So it looks like it'll probably be maybe a 3-stop strategy possibly, because obviously I imagine the heat around the heat as this is held in the daytime. Obviously, unlike the 2014, 15, 16 Grand Prix, which have been held in the night. But anyway, so Willows comes out, 5.5 seconds stop, so it looks like probably just a change of tyres for the moment, I think, unless it's just a fuel. As that is Miklos Gal who spun off. Miklos Gal has spun while I believe he was leading the Grand Prix, so what has happened to him? So he was leading comfortably as from his teammate Southgate, so he comes around down onto the back straight, he just goes a bit wide, he goes onto the sand and just loses the car and somehow manages to avoid getting hit by Rodo Mojin in the Toro Rosso. You can see he comes around and look how close that is. A very, very, very close shave there, those two, but Gal manages to get himself going, makes a bit of a hash of it, but manages to get himself going and is down to second position, has to go all the way into the gravel trap. But he has lost a lot of time. Could that be crucial in the latest part of the Grand Prix? Here is Waze Kuba, who's on the inside of the Toro Rosso, the Toyota there. As there's a bit of spin, and obviously there must have been a bit of contact there. Boyman is off. Boyman has not had a good race so far. And was there any contact between the two? Let's have a look. No, there wasn't. So Boyman just got on to the sandy part of the circuit on the Astro, and unfortunately lost control of the car. And the Williams behind him, I believe that's probably Adam Wolf, manages to avoid him. So quite a close incident there. Now Jordan Maturin spun off as well at the same place that Miklos Gal had, and he gets going. So what happened to Maturin? So he just comes into the corner. He just gets an incredible amount of velocity. Just can't turn the car, and he spins around. And there goes Waze Kuba, and there goes Adam Wolf as well. So, and there goes I'm not sure what car that was. Oh, it was Jack Boyman in the Toyota. Yes, of course. There's Strachan in 18th in the Renault, who will now catch up to Maturin and probably pass him soon enough. There's now Evan Byrne for the Williams is in the pits. So it's been an interesting race so far. Not too much action. There's been a fair bit, but not that much going on up front, apart from Gal spinning off, of course. But I suppose, as I said, nothing will be as good as the Australian Grand Prix. Nothing will ever be as good. As now Miklos Gal does come into the pits, so he'll probably want to pit earlier than Southgate to try and gain some ground on him and possibly maybe overtake him, depending on how long Southgate will do with his pit stop. As Gal comes in, it's an 8.5 second stop. So where will he come out? He'll come out behind Sontag and Page Knight and James Williams. Will he come out ahead of the Ferrari of, I believe that is Will Neller? And yes, he does. There is an on board here of Evan Byrne battling the Lotus here, and there's been contact. Was there contact? Yes, there was. There was contact between him and it is Jordan Maturin. There we go. Contact between him and Jordan Maturin, and that is Evan Byrne out of the race. Maturin's stuck behind his car. He's lost his front wing, so he will have to pit for a new one. So you can see, I mean, it's a bit unlucky there. They almost got out of it, but unfortunately Maturin went into the back of his car. And that is that. So Maturin is stuck on Byrne's car. He can't quite get past, but he does now. Goes to the gravel, but he'll have to go into the pits because of that. So another disappointing race here for Maturin. Here is Gal trying to attack Sontag here for sixth place, and it's very close there. Sontag defends really well, really sternly there from Gal. So Gal is going to have to stick behind us. There is James Willows right behind Page Knight for fourth place as well. Gal will not want this if he wants to catch up with Alex Southgate in the long run. As here is Gal, who's obviously got past Sontag and got past Willows, and now he's going to get past Page Knight and does so with relative ease. So now Gal is up into fourth place, and now Willows is right behind Page Knight, and now he's going to want to have a go. Let's see how well he does. Coming onto the straight, Willis has got a good run onto the pit straight. And will he make the move stick coming into the final corner, side by side, but no, he backs out of it at the last minute. And Knight will keep the place, but this could give Sontag an opportunity if he can keep closer enough. But he's not that close at the moment. But Willis is going to have the slipstream onto the pit straight. He's going to go past, going to get past Page Knight as Joseph Willis. The McLaren is in the pits there. You can see in the background. Willis is in the pits. So has James Willis, his brother, completed the move on Knight? The answer is yes, he has. And well done, James Willis. Unfortunately, obviously, we were off camera there as we were looking at Joseph Willis in the pits, but he's got past as Volker finally comes into the pits on lap 21. He'll, I think, obviously be trying to do a two-stop strategy. So he comes in. Let's see how quick this stop will be for him. Going to be a relatively short stop, as there is Florian Volker, who's right behind the Toro Rosso of, I believe that is Victor Bobo, and it is Victor Bobo, because it can't be Moichin because he's right at the back, as Volker is going to make his move on Bobo into turn 1, relatively easy, and he makes the move stick very well. So Volker trying to go back up the order after his stop, stuck in traffic, as here is Mackenzie, who is right behind the Ferrari of, I believe this is Will Neller, or is this Kuba? And yes, it is Will Neller, and Mackenzie does make the move stick into 6th place. Well done to him. Now Kuba is right behind Neller. Will he make a move coming out of the, well, S's that I call it, or the sand S's, you could also call it as well, as it's in the desert. But Volker is now going to be right behind these two, as now Kuba is attacking his teammate, and Volker is waiting in the wings to get past both these two. Will Kuba make the move stick into the final corner? No, he doesn't. That is going to give a big opportunity for Florian Volker behind to get past, well, I suppose, either one or both of them, he'd prefer. They come down on the pit straight. Kuba makes another move on Will Neller, so Volker holds back for the moment. So will Kuba make the move stick finally into turn 1? The answer is yes, he does. So good move there by Kuba, as here comes Florian Volker, who's right behind Neller, who didn't get a good run out of turn 1. But I don't think Volker got a brilliant run either. So here comes Volker, who's right behind, but he's not going to be close enough coming into the sand S's, as I call it, as Adam Wolf now comes into the pits. And he comes out, he does a quick stop at 5.6. He'll be down the field, as there's George Roke down in 19th. Into the pits comes Miklos Gal again, obviously for his second stop. So obviously he will be doing a 3-stop strategy, because there's not really much of a chance that he'll manage to get to the end on just his set of tyres, unless he controls his tyre temperature really, really well. But I can't see that happening unless he's like Sergio Perez. But in the pits comes Page Knight. James Willows is in the pits as well. Let's see who we got in front. Will Knight get ahead of Willows? Mackenzie's in the pits as well. All of the a lot of the top 10 are in. Will Neller's in as well. I'd like to say would Kuba be in, but that would be bad for Kuba, because then they'd actually have to double stack. As Neller is coming in. He's in, sorry. He's done a 10.2, relatively long stop, so I imagine they've probably trying to see if they can get into the end. Thompson's in, if Bobo in front of him is in. They're all in on lap 28 of the Grand Prix. A lot of pit stop action going on here. There's Nella going past, Adam Wolf going past. Into the pits comes a Bobo. As he... Oh! They're replacing his front ring. Oh, he's had a collision with Sam Thompson, Bobo. And you can see there's contact there with Thompson coming into the final corner, and they'd almost controlled it, but then Thompson unfortunately went into the front, or the side onto the front of Victor Bobo, and unfortunately lost his front wing, and so has Sam Thompson. So that is what's happened there. And they've obviously fortunately done it at the last corner right before the pitch, so they haven't lost too much time. But a disastrous race. Both, it's not been a disastrous race for both really. Thompson, as he got stuck behind a lot of the damaged cars on the first lap. Bobo, who at first had avoided all the various incidents because he's been involved in quite a few of them so far this season. In his first year in the series, as here is Miklos Gal, who's right behind Waze Kuba in second. Kuba, who would have hoped that, who would never have expected to get here, I suppose, in a Renault, and he managed to get pole in Spain and managed to get a podium or two. So he did very well, but he probably hoped that the Ferrari would be a bit better pace, but it's not that good as Kuba ducks into the pits right in front of Gal. So thank goodness Gal didn't try and make a move. Otherwise, could have been very costly for both these two drivers. Kuba into the pits now. How quick will his stop be? It will be an 8.9 second stop, so a quick stop there from the Ferrari crew. Finley Strachan is now in the pits as well for Renault. I was about to say he hadn't made a stop yet, but of course he did, because he made a stop earlier on lap on lap 1, in fact, because he was the one who started all those collisions at the first corner. So yeah, so he's in the pits, so he will drop down he'll drop down here-ish to the back. He comes in as that's Florian Volker. Florian Volker has spun out. He was running in 3rd place, and he has spun out at the Sand S's. I don't know what's happened there, but that has cost him a few positions. As into the pits now comes Alex Southgate, but it won't matter, I think, too much for Southgate because Gal will have to pit again. Because I'm not going to say there's no chance, but there's not really much of a chance that Gal is going to be able to make it on these tyres. So Southgate comes in, and Gal does indeed come out in front of him, as Southgate will just come out in front of the traffic, in front of the Toro Rosso and the Lotus, as now Roland Moichin comes into the pits. Moichin, who is definitely the most unluckiest driver in the series so far. There is absolutely no doubt about it. I don't think 2008 could have really got much worse for him if it tried, but and the luck, unfortunately, at Toro Rosso, he's probably hoping for a bit better, but it's not really gone his way at all, sadly. So unfortunate for him. I imagine he's probably very frustrated that he just won't be able to catch a break. So now into the pits comes Waze Kuba. His, I believe it's 2nd and final stop of the day. So he'll come in on lap 42, so we've only got 15 laps to go. So let's see how quick the stop will be. Be a 9.6, so he'll come out just outside, I think probably just outside the top 10, and he will, because Boyman is going to go past him as Kuba exits the pits. And is that, I believe, Finley Strachan? I think it is, so let's see. I don't know if he'll got out in front of him or not. Mackenzie comes in for his final stop, as I believe Jack Boyman, who actually I don't think has stopped at all so far this race. Jack Boyman comes in for his first stop on lap 43. He's managed to go so far on these tyres, but unfortunately it's not really done that well for him, because he's already down to 12th coming into the pits, because he was 10th, but he's already 12th, so I imagine, unfortunately, points will be out the question, but he could possibly do a Fernando Alonso and try and compete for fastest lap, as he'll have fresh tyres for 14 more laps, so he can really push his car to the limit. Into the pits now comes, I believe this is Miklos Gal, I think it is, and yes it is Miklos Gal. So Gal's spin was very costly, and I think it probably did cost him the race. So he'll come in, he'll come out, I believe, in 2nd place, unless he's lost that much ground that he'll have to, he'll drop down to 3rd, but as there goes Boyman, there goes Roke. So Gal comes out, and is that James Wills went past? I don't know, but James Wills has now come into the pit, so even if he was out in front, he isn't now. As I said, Gal's spin early on really cost him dearly, and has gifted Southgate the race, it looks like, unless there are any unless Southgate has any more problems. There goes Sontag past the Lotus there. There's a yellow flag out, and that's Page Knight. Oh, Page Knight out of the race once again, and a puncher. Toyota have been plagued by punches so far this season. You can see coming up on the dashboard, coming down the support pit straight. Puncher comes up on his dashboard, and unfortunately has to pull off to the side of the circuit as it just suddenly really deflated. You can see the car just tipping over to the left, and unfortunately the page like she must be fuming inside that helmet, but unfortunately it just wasn't really her day. As into the pits now comes, I believe this is Finley Strachan, and it is indeed. So Strachan comes in. So we have just 11 laps to go. Sontag come in as well. The Sontag, who's had a relatively quiet race, to be honest. We haven't really talked about him or anything. But I believe he will get into the points as far as I know, unless there are any other problems. There's James Willis in third, Sontag's in fourth, just behind him. So there's the Lotus as well. So I don't think this is a battle for track position, but actually, wait, oh, James Willis has got a problem. James Willis has got a problem. I was wondering why the McLaren was catching up to him so quickly, but James Willis has got a problem. Disastrous once again for Willows, who again in China spun off while on course for, well, I think a certain top 4, maybe a third, but unfortunately he's going to now have to pit, so he's going to lose quite a few positions. An absolute disaster for James Willows as he comes into the pits. Was running in, when he was running in, he was most likely probably going to get a podium place because obviously Florian Volker obviously had that spin early on, so that has cost Volker dearly, and unfortunately it's just not Red Bull's day. It's going to gift Braun a 1-2 and it will mean that they will extend probably their lead in the constructors as well, as there is a battle between the Williams and the Ferrari there, as there was almost contact between, I believe this is Evan Byrne and Will Neller. I know it's Adam Wolf, sorry, and Will Neller. Battle for 9th place, so this isn't even a battle for the points. So Neller's had another disappointing race. Neller's going to go on the inside of Wolf. Will he be able to make the move stick coming into turn 1? And yes, he does. He makes the move stick. So Neller is up into 9th place, but unless he has another car drop out for retirement, he won't get any points. As here is James Willows, who's right behind Waze Cooper. And will he make the move on the inside? No, he doesn't. He backs off. And Cooper keeps the place. There's Southgate, who's lapped these two, and he's about to lap McKenzie, who's one in front of him. But Willows has got the slipstream coming onto the front straight, and he is going to overtake him, surely. If he can just get a bit more power into that Red Bull. They're just about side by side. And will Willows make the move stick? Still side by side, coming around turn 1 through turn 2, but Willows makes it through, coming into turn 3. So well done to James Willows. He's up to 7th, trying to recover after the electronic problem. As here is Alex Southgate, who's currently in the lead, got pretty much gifted the lead after Gal's spin early on in the race. I believe it was around lap 14, and unfortunately for Gal, he will, I believe, lose the points lead as Southgate is coming round the Sand S's, and he's going to come around into the right hand of Southgate, who obviously dominated the Malaysian Grand Prix in the wet, and then Gal did the same. Gal then did the same in the Chinese Grand Prix in the wet, but as this is dry, it probably would have been Gal's day, but as I said again, that spin cost him badly, as there is, I believe, the battle for 6th place behind him there between McKenzie and James Willows, so that could go right to the line. So obviously this would be the last lap for them as well, as they have been lapped. So Southgate goes round. He's coming into the penultimate corner, onto the back straight. Southgate, who obviously had a torturous time at Honda, and also last year he had a pretty bad year as well. But Southgate is about to come around the final corner. Southgate, who dominated the Malaysian Grand Prix, he got dominated by Gal in China, but now Alex Southgate is going to win the Bahrain Grand Prix. A very good race by Southgate, took advantage of Gal's mistakes, as McKenzie just about holds on to 6th place from James Willows. Waze Cooper comes home in 8th. Miklos Gal is just coming down the straight now. He'll come home in 2nd. He'll be a bit disappointed. He will have thought that this was his day. Will Neller will come home in 9th place. 10th will be Alan Wolf. 11th will be Jack Boyman. Also, Boyman still got to 11th, so if he had probably 10 more laps or so, he probably could have a few more laps. He probably could have overtaken these guys. But Strachan is going to come home in 12th. He obviously got involved. No, actually, why do I keep thinking he got involved? He didn't get involved on the first score, and he managed to stay out of trouble. So Strachan will get 12th place. Victor Obobo is going to get 13th with Sam Thompson right behind him. Thompson, who will hope that his teammate is okay after that crash, which was, I suppose, just a bit of an accident there. George Roach then come home in 15th, and that is Relab Mojin, who's going to come home in 16th just behind him. And Roke does indeed come home in 15th place, Mojin 17th. Joseph Willows is going to get 3rd place for McLaren. Well done to him. We hardly saw him at all during the race, but he obviously got past Volker as he spun. And Sontag is going to come home and take 5th place still, so a great result for both McLaren drivers. Well done to them both. Joseph Willows will be really, really happy with that. 3rd place as Mocha comes home 17th, and finally Jordan Maturin comes home in 18th place. So we had only 4 retirements from this Grand Prix, which is unusual. It's usually we have around about probably about 5 or 6, just about every race, but this one has been relatively clean. There were a couple of collisions. Obviously, Zafari's accident was big. Collision between Maturin and Evan Byrne. As there is the winner, Alex Southgate. So here are the full results. Alex Southgate wins the race ahead of Miklos Gauss 2nd, Joseph Willis 3rd, Florian Volker 4th, Felix Sontag 5th, Jay McKenzie 6th, James Willis 7th, Waze Cooper completing points in 8th, Woolnella 9th, Adam Wolf 10th, Jack Borman 11th, Benny Strachan 12th, Victor Obobo 13th, Thompson 14th, Roke 15th, Moichin 16th, Mocho 17th, Mature 18th, and then Knight, Byrne, Holst, and of course Azul Zafari, who all retired from the race. So now we're going to go on and see the fastest lap. So Gal was, as you can see, much the quicker car ahead of Southgate. Willows in 3rd, Volker 4th, Sontag in 5th, Boyman 6th, Bobo actually 7th. So decent pace there from him. It's just a shame he couldn't get further up the field. McKenzie 8th, Cooper 9th, Byrne 10th, Wolf 11th, Knight 12th, Willows 13th, George Roke 14th, Thompson 15th, Nella, Moichin, Maturin, Strachan, Holst, Mocho, and of course Azul Zafri, who didn't set the fastest, actually got taken out on lap 1. So a bit of news for you that Azul Zafri will miss the Spanish Grand Prix as he suffered a leg injury from that crash. So let's hope that he does get better and he is fully fit for the Monaco Grand Prix. So anyway, Alex Southgate does take the Championship League like I thought he would. I wasn't actually sure, but I was in fact right. Alex Southgate takes the Championship lead ahead of Gal 2nd, Volker 3rd, James Willis 4th, McKenzie 5th, Zafri still 6th. Despite him missing the next race, Willows 7th, Boyman 8th, Sontag 9th, George Roke 10th, Knight 11th, Nella 12th, Holst 13th, Wolf 14th, Byrne 15th, and Cooper completing the drivers who scored points with Mocho, Maturin, Strachan, Moichin, Thompson, and Bobo. Haven't scored any points yet, with Braun leading the constructors ahead of Red Bull, BMW behind in 3rd, McLaren 4th, Toyota 5th, Force India 6th, Ferrari 7th, Renault 8th, Williams 9th, and then Lotus and Toro Rosso with no points. So that has been the Bahrain Grand Prix. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please don't forget to put your driver of the day, and let's hope that it actually works this time and there isn't any problem with the results. So please don't forget to vote for your driver of the day, and also give the race a rating out of 10. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and we will see you for the next round, the Spanish Grand Prix. Goodbye.